All right, we'll try this again. How's that? There we go. There's that one. Try this again. How's that? Ooh, see. There we go. There's that one. There we go. There's that one. No, you're gonna have to be deaf and mute. Let me see here. We'll start this whole thing over. You would think with all the things that I know what I'm doing, you need to know sign language much better than that. All right.
I'm slowly learning ASL,
now.
so.
All right, there we go. How's that? That's better? Yeah?
Got you now, but not everybody else.
Well, they're not talking yet.
No.
Hello,
No,
hello,
there we
hello.
All right, there we go. Technical difficulties. I need to hire like a producer, a director, a key lean kind of guy, a mic guy. I don't know. You would think I'd be okay with this, but I never get it done right. So anyways, we're going to start over. So I'm with the AMDM, Tormy and Serby from the AMDM. If you're not following AMDM on Twitch, definitely go follow him. Also on TikTok, AMDM. He's got a lot of great content. He's a awesome GM. At least that's what I've been told. I haven't experienced it yet, but we'll see. And AMDM, do you want to tell us about what's going on for your Twitch and your Discord?
So on Twitch and Discord, I've already forgotten. No, so on Twitch we run usually Mondays. We have a live Q&A where we just get on here and just talk Dungeons and Dragons or movies or books or whatever comes up. Tuesday nights we do the Black Door game with Tormy and Serb here, where they're a group of assassins who are currently on the run. Yeah, sort of. Well, they started.
We're not even on the run anymore. We screwed that up.
Yeah, I heard that somebody's actually missing in that game.
Yes. Well, no, they found him.
Oh, did they find him? I didn't know they found him.
Yeah, he was knocked out and tied up and stripped naked and thrown in the back of a wagon.
Like just like the way we like Serby.
Yeah. Wednesday nights I'm over on another channel RPing over there where I actually get to play on the Chaotic Rollers, and then on Friday nights I run the Order of the Scale, which is built up of members from the Discord channel, which are RPing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I randomly grab some of them, and run a scenario and adjust it on the fly because I never know what level or abilities they have. And we just see what happens. I did just destroy the city over the course of this last 2 or 3 days.
So I'll be talking sometimes with Serby on Discord in the middle of the day and things like that, and he'll be saying, "Yeah, we got this real thing going on in RP," and I'm like, "Wait, is this you talking, or is this? I don't understand. Who's what? Is this real? Did someone freak out? Wait, who what?" And he goes like, "Yeah, we're having this big thing," and I'm like, and I go through the Discord channel, and I'm like, I don't see anybody in there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, they're at the palace." I'm like, I don't see a palace. What's going on? Oh, it's not even on this. I'm like, stop! You're killing me. I don't understand.
There's so much that goes on between I can't even keep up. And I started this stinking Discord. There are more channels on there. I'm not even the number one person that posts on there. I think
none of the three of us have been the head of posts for months now.
Yeah, one of the moderators, she is so far done so many more posts than anyone else that she's got that top spot locked down for months. Nobody will ever be able to come to take that from her.
Wow, that is insane. One day I will get there. My little Discord channel will eventually blow up. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully when we do Kickstarter in February, that'll blow up, but we'll see what happens. Say again?
I'm not sure how mine got to where it is.
Well, I mean, look at the number of followers you have on TikTok, right? Look at the number of followers you have on TikTok. So, let's just say that even a third of those show up, that's still 3,000 people that are on your Discord. So if that's a
Well,
possibility.
we're sitting just under 800 on
Wow,
Discord.
that's crazy.
Yeah, currently.
Jeez, that's just
I
amazing.
leave that to Tormy and Serb and the other mods. I just show up and I'm the pretty face on there. That's it.
You're
I
the
mean,
face man.
hell, I literally leave the forum RP games to you guys. I'm there to clean things up on the main boards and create homebrew stuff for the Patreon and everything.
And Serb is our watchdog.
And you have a Patreon as well, right?
Yes.
Um,
Which we have there are 4 levels on the Patreon. Uh
Sir,
we
if you
have
wanna,
just a,
for those who might be following us or might be watching us, you want to drop those links down in there, definitely go ahead and do that.
I will definitely do that.
yeah, we have a $3 level which gets you early access to any of the homebrew stuff that Tormy comes up with, and it gives you access to we have a special channel selections in there, chat rooms and stuff just for the Patreon members. And also whenever we come up with like, hey, we're thinking about doing this and we haven't decided, we can throw it to our Patreon and say, all right, what do y'all think about this? And let them vote on what actually is going to be happening or what we're going to give away or things of that nature.
That's brilliant.
We have a $3, a $10, and the $10 and the $3, you just get a little more, one extra room, a little more say. Then we have the $20, which is where I specifically run you a game once a month. I guarantee you're going to sit down with me and we're going to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Fantastic. So you're mostly a 5e player now, right?
Yeah, I've since 5e come out, I've fallen in love with the system.
Well, with that
But I still
go ahead.
but I still go through with I still love reading RPG systems because there's always that game design aspect that I just love. Of course, then we do have one more level on there. And this is for any of your followers that are like the Elon Musks.
Oh, the
$50,000
$50,000.
$50,000. I will run a game for you anywhere, anytime. You pay that monthly, and I will be there.
Monthly.
And that'll pay his entire staff every month.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, we will.
You get the whole staff. I mean, that should.
You get a whole staff of people guaranteed. You need players, we're there.
As long as
You need a homebrew system, I'll fix it.
So on that segue, when we talk about systems, let me introduce you to Legends of Kralis. I know that Serby has said a few cool things about it. It's mostly true. I think it's a good system. We are actually playtesting with some people back in Georgia this afternoon, and one of the guys who's actually worked on, I don't know if you know the virtual tabletop game system, virtual tabletop called D20 Pro. You ever heard of that?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's actually really kind of good, but it's a subscription based and stuff like that. And he and Wesley, one of my friend, were actually programmers for that system. And what shocked me is, he goes, there is absolute brilliance and genius in this game system. I'm like, no, you just didn't say that. Tell me something bad, like make me feel. So that was interesting to hear, and I'm like, wow, no one's ever called me the system genius. It's mostly it's too difficult. Okay, sorry. But we'll see what happens. So it is it's a D100 roll under system. It calculates successes and opposing successes. So when we actually do things in here, you're actually going to be rolling your attacks. I'll be rolling defenses, or the GM will be rolling defenses. There will be set like target numbers, or TS as we call them, target successes. There's a lot of overlap between Dungeons and Dragons or the D20 system and the D100 system I've developed to try to make it as easy as over and stuff like that. we've even thought at some point, once we get this system done, we're gonna actually go back and retrofit it to be actually a D20 system as well, but not a Dungeons and Dragons system, the D20 system. So we'll see what happens with that. So, do you guys have your your player's guide open?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So the last time I heard you whispering as we were in the same chat room, you're like you wanted to be a Habatu. Is that correct, AMDM?
Ah, I have to. I'm double checking now. I'm actually scrolling through the classes.
Tormy, I would also suggest starting on page, I believe it's 17 or no, 21. 21? Yeah, it's page 21.
20 is the quick reference.
Right, page 20 is the quick reference. And figure out what kind of species you want to be. And then also when you're thinking that out, think about what kind of archetype you want to be. Right? Serb actually went with a Balian cleric ninja in a sense, right? I mean, isn't that where we went with that?
You know what? Let me pull it up because I have it here. I should have pulled it up before we started.
Also, while they're looking at that, I just want to give everybody a hit on my landing page for our call to action. We are going to be hopefully doing a Kickstarter February 1st of 2022. So we've got a few months of making sure this is a tight system and it really works. So come check us out. Right. There's also quick starts that are free, character sheets that are free. The actual website itself is going to get started loaded down with a bunch of cool stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of decisions that are going to happen in here, and
there's a whole lot of decisions here.
And the thing is because we're not, we don't have pick a race, pick a class, and go. We want you to really be involved on why you're picking who you're picking, right?
One thing that I fell in love with, I mean, and I've spent more time looking at this and comparing them than I have looking at the actual race, the information there, is the basic words you have created with the translations.
Oh, okay, right.
The little basic translated words from like
I, you, they, fight.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is so cool because I love just the languages, and I was like, this is more information than I even thought about putting in. This is awesome.
This will really blow your mind. Each of these species have their own language, and each one of those languages have about 22,365 words that are written down and are actually part of a dictionary that will be in the Kralis World Guide.
That is freaking amazing.
So, and what's interesting is some of the languages are similar to each other, like the language that the Kova speak, the Azdehak, the Rakish, which is the Rakas language, and then the Habatu language, which is I can't think of the name right now, but they're all branched off of the same language. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time. This is what happens when I get bored at work, right, Serb?
So we went with Habatu.
Oh, you went with Habatu?
Shadow Assassin.
Oh, you went with
Habatu. So you went.
Okay.
All right, that I thought you'd gone with the Banyan.
The Balian? That's what I thought you did too. I thought you went with Balian.
According to the character sheet you sent me, I went with Habatu.
Okay, you're a Habatu assassin then.
All right.
Shadow Assassin, yeah.
Let me go back up to the Banyan then. Of course, the Shova.
Tormy, what are you thinking?
I went through the base list. I'm still rolling down. I think Tajahu where I'm at right now. Yeah. I'm still like quick reading.
I think I'm gonna go with the Shova.
The Kova?
Kova.
The Kova. An interesting story the interesting story about the Kova. So all species that are not human have, and Furbog, most of them have some sort of like special weapon that they have, a natural weapon. The Kova have very thick skulls.
I was just noticing his skull ridges.
And my in-home game that happens every 2 weeks, they got caught by some Kaznarks and were taken and basically stripped naked and tied up and stuff like that. And they had made an alliance with one of the Kova. It really inspired him, and so the Kaznark breaks them out. They don't have any weapons, but he's a divine caster. He actually casts spiritual weapon on his forehead and uses it to attack the spiders that they're trying to get through. He's literally ramming into them with his head. Like that's
awesome.
That's brilliant. All right. So you're going to go with the Kova. So we'll start with you while Tormy's still looking at this. So go ahead and pull up your character sheet at the very top. Page 1. So character sheet pages 1 and 2 is really where we're going to be spending a lot of our time. We're going to spend some of the time on the beginning of this on page 2. But at the very start, let's go ahead and start off with your species. Go ahead and select Kova. You're a medium-sized creature. Your rank will be 1. We'll come back and pick your focus in a minute. And then as a Kova, you have a choice of cultural kin that you can choose from. The Aditya, the Mazduk, and the Macronus.
So
it's on page 30.
Okay. All right.
I think I've made my choice.
All right, I've got your character sheet. What are you going to do there, Tormy?
So I've been playing too many small races lately. I'm going to go wholeheartedly the other direction and go play a troll.
Brilliant. Trolls are amazing creatures. One of their special abilities is to actually have a regeneration that happens like 1 time per day per charisma per stamina modifier. So you can do it quite a lot. All right, so let's go ahead and pick your species as troll. You're rank 1, and there is no cultural kin for you. You're all one homogeneous species. If you want to figure out your names also at this time, you can do that too. They're on right there on page for AMDM. They're going to be on page 29. And then for Tormy, I believe it's 5. That was close. Is page 51.
All right, I need to zoom in on this a little bit. My eyes aren't as what they used to be.
I hear you.
Hey, that changed to what that letter stood. I thought. The Macronus.
Macronus. All right, fantastic. So on your character sheet for your cultural kin, let's go ahead and put Macronus there. Or you can actually just copy and paste that if you so like.
Okay, typical first names.
Macronus.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
With the troll language with Noctua, is it a right to left language or a left to right language?
That is actually a very good question. It's actually a left to right, bottom, top to bottom.
Okay. So technically, if I wanted, I would want Wasim Mahato as the last name.
Which one are you doing?
I was looking at the words that are above before, and coming up with a different last name that is presented.
Right. Okay. Cool.
I'm thinking Gruncat and then Wasi Mahato. So it's I don't know what Gruncat would mean in the language, but it would then be rebel child.
Rebel child, right down. So it was Wasi Mato. Right on. And that's one of the cool things that I've tried to do. I'm glad you guys. I'm glad that people are actually starting to pick up on that. That while I provide surnames, I've also provided a little bit of a language that people can actually make up their own names as much as possible and still kind of feel like a core part of the species, right? And you went with Rebel Child Mahato.
Yeah, I was doing very similar thing.
All right, brilliant.
I'm Nashek.
Leshek.
Nashek Ves Eshk.
Oh, I love the pronunciations of those words because you're very close to the way they're actually supposed to be pronounced. Leshek.
Say it again.
So what did you? Wow, you went with
It's
Veshek.
magic weapon. Magic weapon. I think is the translation. Yeah,
Right.
magic weapon.
Gotta find magic.
Nashek.
Veshek.
Yes.
Very cool. All right. I'm not sure where you're going with that. But we'll see.
Kind of a because they're crafters of and such. So I'm thinking he's some of the finest armor and weapons in the world, and so his goal is to craft a magic weapon to bring order to everything.
Brilliant. So just a little backstory because I'm sure you haven't had a chance to read it. The Havatu, the Kova, and the Rakas. The Rakas are all the same species. They were at a one point. This is why I was asking you about your genetics on your species, right? On your races, where they went back to. They were all one specific species, and they were cursed while they were fighting some chaotic magic things, and the species, the singular species, split into these three groups over tens and thousands of years. While you went biological, I went magical with that. All right, so now that you guys have got that, so both of you can do this on both of your sheets, and it's gonna be the same concept for you, Tormy, for the trolls. On the second page of Beyond the Names, you're going to come to these things called features. Yours is going to say Trolls features, Tormy, and AMDM. Yours is the Kova features. Now, these are features that are going to go on the second page of your character sheet in the box called Species, Features, and Traits. And there's a lot of information, so you're going to kind of have to do the Cliff Notes versions of these things.
Okay.
So what I would do, since I'm over here with you, AMDM, what I'm going to do is this. So you're going to come across a couple things. So we'll start with the languages, right? So Kova can begin speaking Azdehak, Jahuz, and Kaman. And even my accent started happens. Common. I just grab those, AMDM, and I just stick them, I just copy paste them into the language and feature species, languages and features and traits. I haven't had much sleep today.
I understand. I know how that goes. Get all of them. Okay.
And so then you go down to the next one. So resistances. So you're going to gain a +10 to both your horror and your fear checks. So AMDM on your front side of your sheet, the first page, there's a small gray box on the bottom right hand corner. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see it now.
All right, so what you'll do is you're going to put in there a +10 in both fear and horror, because we're going to do some other determinations and adding that to that when we generate your attributes.
Immune to dream-based abilities or attacks.
Right, they don't sleep.
Lift natural armor.
Kova do not sleep. And they're immune to cold shots to the head. I wonder why. Oh, by the way, Kova have 2 hearts and 4 lungs. Don't ask me why. And then what?
Well, if you don't know,
oh, I do know why. It's just a long story. So the Kova also gain a +15 to their alertness checks. So on your sheet, on the first sheet, find the skill alertness and put +15 there. You also gain +10 health as well. So up there in your health points where it says max health, put +10, because we're gonna have to determine that a little bit later. Tormy, how you doing?
I've got my languages and my natural armor here. I have my fear, horror, and lifting increases in that box on the first page.
Okay.
Uh,
your max lift, I think you have a max lift, don't you?
Yeah, the max lift is increased by 500.
Yeah, so in your encumbrance check, so the strength that you have there is not for lifting, doesn't go there. It actually goes on the second page under encumbrance for maximum lift. So make that +500.
Okay. That makes sense.
Back to you, AMDM. You also gain +20 fatigue points. So in the max fatigue, put +20 there.
Okay, I see the. All right, I missed the plus the lift. I was still moving other things over there.
No worries. Let me know. I go a little fast because I don't know exactly where you guys are at.
Now, where's the lift? Okay, max lift.
Yeah, +150. It's on the second sheet.
Yeah, there we go.
Is there a specific spot, or should I put it in features and traits for the +10 to natural armor?
So actually, that's a good question. So up on your first page, there is a called armor and defenses. You can put in there on the bottom line if you like, just natural armor for right now. Right? And it has an absorption of 10, isn't it? Correct? 10?
Yes.
Now, natural armor stacks with any armor that you wear. So you could potentially, if you're wearing plate armor, your defense, your armor absorption, just standard would be 32 points that you can just basically ignore of damage.
Weapon craft versus any evil creature.
Right, so you're going to get a +10 versus any of your attacks. So that's going to be something that you on the front part of the sheet underneath the fatigue points is a box there, so you can put +10 versus evil creatures. That way you have that there, and that way you can add it in as you want to, because it's a bonus that you add if they're evil. And then battle holding. This is a trait. It's an interesting trait. You do not have to make a holding check 0 until you reach 5 times your stamina modifier and negative health. And we will talk about that at some point soon. Basically, Legends of Kralis, everything matters when it comes to health. You don't want to get below half, and you definitely don't want to get below quarter, and you don't want to drop to 0.
Well, for now, I'm just going to put that under abilities.
No, put that in features and traits, because the abilities are very
Features and
specific.
traits?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
We're about to choose your abilities right now. Once we get done, so you also gain +4 health points every time that you rank, because you've got 2 hearts and 4 lungs. And then you can headbutt. So your actual headbutt does a base damage of 3 points. That's equivalent to some daggers, by the way.
Nice.
And the next question that should be asked is, so can I do that in the middle of combat? And yes, you can actually headbutt somebody in the middle of combat if you like. You will take a -20 because it would be considered a secondary attack, but you can headbutt somebody, and do some fun stuff with that if you like.
So is there a spot I can put the +4? I guess it's in the rank bonus.
What I would do right now is I would just put it back. Still, everything that we're copying out of that gray box AMDM goes in the features and traits. The headbutt, if you so like, if you want to put it in that next column. Oh, that box isn't working correctly. Headbutt, HB headbutt. I don't know. Headbutt deals 3 base
Editing here.
base damage. I've got to fix that box because it's there. It's just over more. All right, where are we now? Sense evil. Basically, as long as you have you can sense evil within 15 feet of you, so a 30-foot radius or 30-foot diameter or 15-foot radius. Again, put that in your so sense evil, 15-foot rad. If you do, you gain a bonus to attack them. You must succeed at a wits check at a TS of 2 to determine if they're evil. If you do, you do gain a. You can determine if they're evil, and then if you have the. There's another ability in here that allows you to actually you gain a bonus off of that. I think, or did we may have changed that? Tormy, how you doing?
I'm selecting my second special ability.
Okay, yeah. So all first rank characters in Legend of Kralis start off with 5 abilities. 2 come from your species, 2 come from your focus, and then 1 that you're gonna choose. So let me get to yours there real quick. What ability are you choosing, Tormy? And make sure that just so it's easier to know where it's at on your character sheet, put your abilities in the abilities section.
Okay.
Okay, and which 2 abilities did you go with?
I'm definitely going with Viscery. I'm bouncing between whether I want spikes or battle hardened.
Ooh, spikes. Missouri. Basically, you can see things. And I won't get caught up in your language. So, in the char, common and undercommon. Now, just for anybody who's watching and may go, what's common? Well, common is more of a basic language. Everybody can speak it. It's definitely mostly man that actually speaks most of it, but anybody can speak it. Undercommon is a darker language of it's almost like Thieves' Camp, but it's with dark groups such as assassins and those things. Is where that comes from.
Come with spikes.
Tend to fear and horror. Let's tend to fear and horror. We lost Serbia again. 500.
All right.
Plus 500.
That is a really nasty combination now that I'm looking at the 4 abilities next to each other.
Which ones?
Viscery, then ram, regeneration, and spikes.
Yeah.
Just gonna run right in and
right, but you
explode.
only get 2 of those. Remember, you only get 2 of those. You don't get 4. You only get 2.
I thought you get the
No.
RAM and regen auto
Oh wait. Oh, as part of. Oh, what? Oh, right.
as
As
just
part of.
base. Yeah,
Yes, their traits. Yes, you do get RAM.
RAM and
Yes.
regen,
Right,
and then I get
regen.
to choose
Right.
2 of the 6 available. Not 6,
8.
but yeah.
And I'm trying to catch up with all you guys. And regeneration. So regeneration.
RAM and spikes, I think, will go very nicely together.
And spikes. You're being very quiet, Serby.
I had to step away for a minute there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, spikes are awesome. And the Suri is also very awesome. You can volley two spikes per stamina to a maximum of 10 spikes. And they do. Yeah, I gotta grab that whole little section there.
My last name may change here as I'm building the character out.
Oh, that's okay. That's what it's for. All right. AM, DM, what 2 abilities did you go with?
One of them's natural magic.
Okay.
I'm trying to make a decision on the other ones, though. That's I think I'm going to go with combat empathy.
Okay. And combat empathy, right? Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with combat empathy as the other one.
Okay. Combat empathy. All right, so combat empathy gives you the ability once per turn as a simple action, a wits check, and you gain a +5 bonus to your attack skill or defense skill for every 2 successes you make in your check on your wits. And then natural magic. Basically, it reduces the
Fatigue for the spells.
the fatigue for the spells that you're going to be casting at some point. So it's going to be interesting
That's
to see
really
where you
good.
go with that. Yeah, it is actually really good. It'll be interesting seeing where you go with your character on that. Are you looking to be a caster?
I'm not sure. It's as his character's building out. I do want some aspect of magic here, and
You can actually. So when we get ready to choose focuses, you can choose a combat focus, and then take the knowledge focus arcane touch, which allows you to cast spells. So at first rank, you're literally a fighter mage, if for all intents and
yeah,
purposes.
I think he's going to go into combat mage.
Okay. All right, so we're essentially done with that. Let's go ahead and go to page 53. Now we're going to start rolling up characters. All right, you guys on page 53? Are you rolling up a new character, Serby?
No,
Oh,
not right now.
you should. Give you an opportunity to do it. All right. So here's what we're gonna do is when we started doing the character attributes, we started everything with based off of size. So small, medium, large are our bases, right? Medium is the middle creature, right down the middle. He gets a 50 down everything. So for you, AMDM, we're gonna be using the attribute determination table now. For both of you, AMDM, your strength, stamina, agility, perception, intelligence, wits, willpower, and charisma are all going to be a base of 50.
All right.
For me, since you're a large creature, you're so crazy. I gotta fix that again.
So just put 50 in all of those stats attributes.
Yes.
Awesome.
I have to fix something so I can do both of these. Oh, I know what's going on. Properties.
My top 2 are 60s, my next 2 are 40s, and the rest are 50s.
Correct. Oh, I wish I'd thought about that beforehand. This one, A. Oh, I'm gonna have to. I've got to fix that after we're done because it's not gonna roll out very quickly for you. Yeah, so you're a base of strength of 60, stamina of 60, and agility of 40, and 40, and then everything else is 50 for you, Tormy. Sorry.
It's okay.
All right, now we're gonna do the dice roll. So what you can do is this. This is the reason why you need 4d10. So you're gonna roll 4d10. You're gonna re-roll any ones, and then drop the lowest and add those three together. And so let me know what they are because I'm creating the characters alongside you.
How many times are we rolling that number?
You're gonna roll them 8 times, and you get to assign them after you roll them. So put them. I normally, when I'm helping people roll characters, I put the things that they rolled in the campaign modifier, and then we adjust them. So let's go.
So roll 4, drop the lowest, basically.
Roll 4, re-roll any ones, drop the lowest.
All right. So I have mine.
So I'm
For the
sorry.
first roll.
First one is what?
My first roll here, I got a 7, and a 4.
And you did that. So you had a 3.
I dropped a 2.
Okay. So 14, 18. Okay. Second roll.
Oh, they're added together. 18.
Yeah.
All right, better write this down myself here.
Well, that's the reason why if you have the attribute determination scratch sheet, you can actually put them in the campaign modifier and then move them around as you need.
Oh, I probably do, but I only opened up the character sheet in the main book.
No worries.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to list this down from the top.
27 was my next roll.
Would you say? What was your next one?
27.
27. All right. Tormy. First roll.
I'm reorganizing them from lowest number to highest number. I've got 117.
You got an 18.
I got a 17.
Okay.
Then a 19. Then a 19. Then a 20. Then a 20. Then a 21. Then a 23. Then a 25.
Interesting roll. Interesting rolls. All right. Your third roll there, AM.
27.
Another 27.
Yep. 22.
Okay.
$25.
It's 25 for your.
Yep.
All right. For your
That should have
fifth.
been 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Your sixth.
27.
Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
He's getting all his good rolls now.
Right.
13.
There it is.
2, 3, 4, 5. One more. All right. The last one's going to be like a 9.
He rolls 4 twos and starts crying.
Yeah. That would be my luck. No, see, rolling during character creation is great. It's my dice rolls any other time that suck. 15, 21.
That's a good thing you want to roll low in Legends of Kralis.
Yeah. All right. So this is what we're gonna
Which
do.
means I'm going to roll high.
Right. All right. So Tormy, did you put your in the dice roll? Did you adjust where you wanted your rolls? So
Not yet.
all right. So before you both decide what you want to do with these things, you have to get an idea of what you want your character to be like. Right? Do you want them to be an intelligent, possible spellcaster? Do you want them to be a charismatic leader that has the potentiality of becoming a bardic-like character or a priestly-like character? Do you want them to be a sneaky kind of character where they can use the shadows and stealth and Genhur to be able to do other things? Or do you want them to be a straight up brawling, I will hit you with my fists, I will hit you with my horns, and then I'll kick you kind of fighter? What do you want to do? Think about that. This is the archetype. This is where it really starts to define who you are as a character.
I want to do all of that. I want to kick them all, knock the snot out of them.
Well, you can do
And
that,
then I
but
want
we need to
to-
be a
then-
little more focused.
And then I want to be able to do it from a range with magic.
Well, that's a possibility.
Just straight up.
I would actually like to step away from what the race looks like it's supposed to be for, and I'm going to head for intelligence-based casting.
Brilliant. Let's do that. So you're gonna put the 25 in intelligence?
Yes.
All right. What about the 23?
So what do wits, willpower, and perception do for me?
Okay, great. So I'll explain all these. So strength and stamina are going to be things that you're going to really use for warriors. However, stamina is where we get our fatigue points from that actually allow you to cast spells. Unlike, say, Dungeons and Dragons and a few other systems, you can cast the same spell over and over and over and over again, or other spells over and over and over and over again, so long as you have the fatigue points to do so. Once you reach 0 fatigue points, you're knocked out. You're out for an hour at least. Okay.
Okay.
So that's where that. So stamina is very important to all the casters. All the casters. Strength, agility, and perception and willpower tend to be the more important parts for those people who are going to be upfront fighters. Wits and intelligence. The difference there is intelligence is book smarts. Wits is street smarts. Willpower is the internal power of your will, right? You've got the will to be able to do things. And charisma, it's not necessarily good looking. It's how persuasive you can be. You can be a born leader and have a gap between your teeth, but you're an excellent speaker kind of thing, right? So it's not beauty. It's charismatic. How charismatic are you? And agility and perception are the two keys that actually figure into your physical defense.
Ooh.
So then my question, actually, I do have a question.
Sure.
Is intelligence the only casting ability, or are there others?
Okay, so that's a good question. So willpower allows you to, if you have a high willpower, you can actually use the Jinhur casting, which is a willpower focus. A high charisma allows you to call upon the powers of the gods, which are divine spells.
So it's intelligence, willpower, or charisma are the main casting ones.
Say again.
The three main casting possibilities attributes are intelligence, willpower, and charisma.
That is correct, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Of the
Oh.
casting, I understand charisma and divinity. What's the difference in the casting between intelligence and willpower base?
All right, so intelligence is arcane. Is really going to be mostly arcane. Willpower is the Jinhur ability to summon energy from within to cast spells. They are not like warlocks or anything like that. They actually use hand symbols and pathways to summon power. The best way I can describe this is do you guys watch anime at all?
Yeah.
All right, so
Just a couple of them. Yeah.
well, I don't know, right? Because when I say this, people are like, "What? Naruto or Naruto?"
Yeah.
Those
Full
hands,
jitsu.
jujitsus is what they use. That's what
I
that is.
I was actually going to go with the entire. Oh, I'm a bender from
Avatar?
Avatar,
No.
but yeah, that makes sense. Um,
Oh.
So what are we gonna do here, Tormy?
All right. Oh.
I'm bouncing between whether I want hand symbols or arcane.
All right, we'll come back to you. All right,
Mhm.
AMDM. What'd you put for strength?
For strength, well, so strength is good for fighting, and intelligence is good for magic. Well, I have 327s here,
I know you
so
do.
I'm thinking I put a 27 in strength, a 27 in intelligence, and a 27 in stamina.
Good.
All right, so when it comes to fighting, you have a choice. You have agility, strength, agility, perception are our three weapons categories. Strength are those big heavy weapons, hammers, mauls, things like that, big heavy swords. Agility are more agility based weapons such as daggers, some swords, and some other things. And then perception is your ranged weapons, crossbows, pistols, energy blasters, those kind of things.
All right. So
So, where do you want to put that 27 in strength, agility, or perception?
strength is really like the heavy weapons.
Heavy weapons.
Um,
You're a Kova after all.
yeah. I think it's gonna go in strength.
Okay. Just to let you know, Kova accents are more throaty.
More throaty.
Almost Hebrewic in their guttural sounds, right?
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that. All right. So, what are you going to do with your 25?
My 25 will actually go into agility.
All right. Your 22.
That will go into perception.
Okay. Your 21
I haven't placed my 21 yet. What is the wits?
is street smarts, basically.
Yeah, let's put that in wits.
18
See, 18 is going. What have I missed here? Into willpower.
and charisma is going at 13. Hey, it's not that you're
Yep.
not good looking. You just got a shitty personality.
If you don't like it, kiss my ass.
There you go. Exactly. All right. Tormy, what are you going to do with that 121?
Okay, so while you were talking with him, I figured which stats were less important to this and built my way up. So strength is getting the 17, stamina is actually getting the 25.
Okay.
Agility is getting 21, perception 20.
Okay, you're going a little fast.
in-
Hold on. So
Sorry.
your stamina is going to get the 25. Your strength is going to get a 20.
My strength is getting the lowest stat, the 17.
Okay, the lowest stat. Okay. right.
Agility is getting the 21.
Okay.
Perception's getting a 20.
Okay.
Intelligence is getting the 23. I'm likely heading for arcane. Actually, no, I'm putting the 23 in willpower. I'm putting 20 in intelligence. Wits and charisma are getting the 19s.
Ugh. All right.
So
I'm
we just add those numbers to the
We're not
like the
done.
50.
Yeah, we're not done yet though.
Oh,
I've got to
okay.
fix this attribute determination table because it's all messed up. So I changed scores on yours. I ended up changing scores everywhere. So I'm gonna have to go with you guys. So now what you're gonna do is we're gonna do species modifiers, right? Which is still on page 54. And you guys can either do one of two things. You can either go with the standard that's there, the species modifiers, the standard modifiers, if you like. If you like those, you can go with those. They're already predetermined for you. Or you can decide that I really want my character to be more unique, and we're going to ignore the biocentrism of the standard species races, species modifiers, and allow yourself to place two plus 10s in. I'm sorry, a 10 and 2 attributes, and a 5 and a third. Did that make any sense?
Ooh. So
Yes.
instead of getting just a plus 10 and two of them, we're getting a 10 and two and a 5 and a third one.
Correct.
Ooh, I like that. So
Oh, this looks weird.
so
I know where I'm putting my 10s and my 5.
All right. You're going to have to track that because for some reason, like I said, the attribute determination table is just messed up on my end, and I've got to fix it. I keep forgetting to fix it.
I think I'm going to bump the charisma.
Okay.
With a 10. Making it a 23 instead of a 13. I think I will bump my willpower with a 10. Bringing that to a 28.
Okay.
Oh, no, hold on.
The chart has its own. The chart has its own column for species modifiers.
Yes.
You don't need to increase the numbers that are already there.
That's for my head.
Okay.
Understood. And where are you going to put the plus 5 there?
Actually, I'm putting the plus 5 with the willpower, and I'm going to put the plus 10 with intelligence.
Okay, brilliant. All right. Now that we are done with that, we have got to determine your guys' focus. Focuses beginning on page 54 are the closest things that we really come to classes, right? Every class, I don't care what class it is, can be basically boiled down into 4 specifics. You're either combat, knowledge, social, or stealth, right? What do you guys see your characters focusing in first? Now, when you focus in these things, it also has effects on your character skills. So let's say that you decide to go with a combat focus. When you go to combat and you look at the skills there's not many combat skills. You get a plus 10 to 4 of those skills, right? Because that's a combat focus. If you're a knowledge focus, same thing applies. When you go to pick your knowledge skills, 4 of them get a plus 10. All right. Knowledge has the skill called spellcraft, which is what you will use in conjunction with arcane touch to be able to cast spells. If you're going, Tormy, if you're going to go the route of the Jinhur, stealth focus gives you a bonus to willpowers and willpower, and allows you to have access to the enlightened. I'm sorry, Jinhu discipline skill, which is in stealth. So that would be a focus for you, and you gain a +10 to that. So
Say that again.
Okay.
You said the different focuses, and I got lost somewhere in there.
Okay. So there are four different focuses, right?
Yeah.
Combat, social, knowledge, and stealth. If you decide whatever focus you choose, the 4 skills within that focus, and we'll get to the skills that in a second, gain a +10 because they're considered focused skills for you. They're like you spent time doing that.
Right.
So if you decide to go with and kind of like you go with the Jinhur finger jitsu, stealth focus gives you bonuses to the Jinhu discipline, so you'd be able to actually gain that as a focus skill. So it would gain a +10 as an example. But whatever you guys want to do.
I am balancing somewhere between knowledge and stealth right now, but I'm leaning more towards stealth.
I'm going between knowledge and combat. I think we're going to go knowledge.
So the modifier chart that's there says +5 to a primary stat on one side and then a choice of 3 others on the other.
A choice of 3, yeah. So you gain an additional +5 depending on your focus, yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to go knowledge focus, AM?
Yeah.
Okay. So that at the top of your first page of your character sheet, if you like, is combat. For focus, just go ahead and choose knowledge.
All right. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Focus. Okay.
Now, as a focus, this is where you're going to have a lot of skills, and intelligence also helps where your total number of skills. So, as a knowledge focus, you're going to gain 3 additional languages of your choice. All right, and I'm sorry, two additional languages and 3 additional knowledge skills that you're trained in. So you gain a lot of skills for a knowledge focused character. Additionally, you get to pick 2 additional abilities that are knowledge based. And those are underneath the bonus abilities.
Okay.
And if you want to know what they are, let me know, and I will zoom off to read them to you.
I
Still working on your focus?
I'm going stealth, and I'm putting my points in agility and perception.
Agility and perception? All right.
Yep.
AMDM, make sure that you give yourself a +5 to your intelligence as your bonus focus modifiers, and then a +5 in either to your willpower, wits, or stamina.
Yeah. Real quick, the that +10, +10, and +5, where do those go?
On the sheet, they actually go in the species modifier sheet, in the column for species modifiers.
For the determination scratch sheet,
Right.
not the character sheet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not done with
Yeah,
your
I'm not.
attributes yet. We're not done with your attributes. So,
Okay.
if you have a
I'm sitting here looking at the character sheet trying to figure it out, and it's not
right,
on here.
yeah, it's
Okay.
not on there yet. It's not on there yet. This is the reason why if I have this determination scratch sheet for new people. Generally, what you'll do is I just throw out a 3x5 card. I throw down 5 columns and 8 rows, and I just fill everything out, and then I add it up at the end.
Okay.
So
I've got it. I've written it down on the piece of paper, so I'm
okay,
good.
I'm tracking yours. I've got yours. The sheet screwed up on Tormy, so I've got yours. So where do you want to put your? So I have a +10 for your intelligence for your species modifier, +10 for your charisma modifier, and a +5 in your willpower for your species.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with your focuses? You gain a
Be back in a second.
Yep, you gain a 5 right off the bat for your intelligence, and then you get to
Intelligence.
choose 2 more, either willpower, wits, or stamina.
Let's put it in stamina.
Okay, makes sense. All right.
Who's that?
So,
And then I get 2 of the bonus abilities.
correct. But before we continue with that, AMDM, before you continue looking at that, I just want to make sure we have the right attributes for you. You should have a strength of 77.
Well, I haven't added anything up yet, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, I've got it all off to the side.
That's right. You're doing it the old-fashioned way, the pen and pencil, or pencil and eraser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tormy, are you done with your attributes?
I just have the campaign modifier thing left.
That would be something I would do as a GM. If I wanted to play like a high-level campaign, I'd give you a campaign bonus there. If we're going to play like a low and gritty, I would give you a negative there. But we're going to play standard, so there's no penalty or bonus.
Okay.
So
Then yeah, I have my numbers.
What's your strength?
77. Stamina is 95. Agility is 71. Perception is 65.
Okay.
Intelligence is 70.
Okay.
Wits is 69. Willpower is 83. Charisma is 69.
All right. So, for you to actually be able to use Enlightened, which is the ability, you're going to need a willpower of 85. So
I will move the 2 points from my dice. I will switch the 25 and the 23 for my race.
Okay. And what does that give you?
That gives me an 85 in willpower and a 93 in, or an 85 in willpower and a 93 in stamina.
Okay. There you go. And then your charisma
Is 69.
All right. Now you get to choose 2 of those focus abilities that you want. What do you come up with for your?
I'm looking at them, trying to see which ones.
So again, what do you see your character doing more often than not? Right. This is every step that we've taken is developing your character on what you really want to do.
Yeah, that's
the rub.
And I'm building the character based on what's here and as it's going through. So it's one of those interesting things. I know I want to be able to cast magic and just do a lot of things. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I.
Right, and you don't know what you don't know because the first time you've actually opened up the book for this. So
it's the third time, but I got caught up with your language concepts and stuff and reading on that.
So spell affinity is a good thing. So alchemia is I built alchemia because I like Batman, and I was like, so how would Batman do this in a science fantasy kind of way? And so alchemia allows you to actually develop different things, and you can also use alchemy to create poisons and explosives and other things like that. Arcane Appraisal allows you to actually appraise magical items and be able to know what they're all about. Totem Magic allows you to actually work with spirit animals in a sense, right? Biomechanics allows you to replace and build mechanical replacements for people who've lost body parts. Call Familiar, that's pretty much standard, right? Drain allows you to drain the fatigue from somebody else to use it for yourself. Focus allows you to gives you a +10 to your skills on your next skill use. Elemental Sphere allows you to I forget exactly what Elemental Sphere does now, to be honest with you. Elemental Sphere real quick. Elemental Sphere, hold on. Elemental Sphere. You would think I'd know all
And
these
cast
heart.
spells to be used later.
Oh, that's right. You can cast spells into little tiny marbles that can be thrown at people.
I kind of like. All right. And then, what's the spell affinity?
Spell Affinity gives you some little bonuses and some other little tricks to your element that you've chosen, if that makes sense. Legends of Kralis, we don't have schools of magic in that same sense. We have elements of magic, which is a derivative.
All right, so let's take the elemental sphere.
Okay.
I like the concept of putting just a bag of marbles now with.
Yeah, but they run out though. They run out. You know, you can't keep them in
Well,
there forever, but for a while, definitely.
it's prepping things.
Okay, which one of these words means magic?
And I think I'll go with spell affinity for the other.
All right, so spell affinity and elemental sphere. So this is gonna, so in your ability section, AMDM, put elemental sphere there, and then spell affinity as a second line, as a fourth line there. All right, Tormy, AMDM, while you figure out your total attribute scores there, Tormy, what did you do? Where'd you go? What'd you decide on?
I figured out where my skill bonuses are going to go. I'm trying to figure out what the bonus abilities words mean.
Okay.
Like, I'm fairly certain later in the chapter there's like probably a readout of what these do. Which one was the one for the magic that I just qualified for?
For the Jinher, that's actually a skill. That's not an ability. And the actual ability that you would take to actually activate it is not in this list. It's you have to choose it. These are bonus abilities that are kind of like free, right?
Okay.
Kujarad G would be something you might enjoy. Allows you to create a magical energy shield around yourself for a little bit of time. Shadowcraft, I think. Oh, we're missing Derby. I think he went with shadow data, which allows him to jump into shadows. But you're so big, you'd have to have a shadow that's 3 times your size to be able to jump into.
What
All right.
what is the arboreal
Arboreal
movement?
basically being able to run across treetops for all intents and purposes. Across limbs.
And on Taki movement?
And Taki movement allows you to produce a magical like effect that allows you to, like, say, like on the first level of it, allows you to actually generate a false image of you up to 10 feet away that everybody thinks it's you, and then you get to move away, kind of thing. That's the first level. There's 5 different levels of different things.
I'm just looking at all the different movement ones here.
Right. Deft walk allows
Deft
you to
walk.
walk on ceilings and walls.
Jesus, that's terrifying.
Featherfoot allows you to run across land and walk on land without causing seismic vibrations. This is the best way to describe that. Increased speed increases your total movement.
And surgical strike and corner of your eye.
So surgical strike is surgical strike allows you to use your perception as a damage modifier if you're using ranged weapons. Corner of your eye basically allows you to catch things, ghosts, other images, or things that are off to the side, so you can actually see ghosts and other apparitions or things that actually live inside the what's the D&D term for you guys? The ethereal plane.
Yeah.
Allows you to catch them if creatures are coming from that side. From that locations.
I'm trying to decide now between corner of your eye or increased movement.
Increased speed. I would do increased speed, to be honest with you.
And this goes in features?
No, so that's gonna actually
abilities.
These are abilities, right? So this is gonna go down into your should be your second or third ability.
How do I copy? Yes.
And then
copied.
And what did you do?
Kujirajai.
Kujirajai?
Yeah.
I haven't figured out the pronunciation of that. Some people say it's Jaya and some people say it's Gia. So I haven't really figured that out yet. All right.
Language is a living beast.
Yes,
it changes all the time.
It is, but I've got to set everything on a straight path and then let it change. Right. All right. So AMDM, did you figure out your attributes?
Yes.
All right. So what's your strength going to be then?
77.
Okay. And then your stamina?
77.
Your agility?
75.
Your perception?
72.
Jeez. Your intelligence?
92.
Right on. All right. And your wits?
71.
And your willpower?
73.
And your charisma?
73.
Wow. You are probably... Okay, so...
I'm the smartest person in the room, and I know it.
Yeah, and you are right down the... You're an average Kova with a very extreme intelligence. All right, and then so we're essentially done with that. So we've actually got a couple things here. So AMDM, you're going to gain a +10 to your fatigue points. So now your maximum fatigue should be a +30 at this point. And you're going to gain an additional skill every 5 ranks. That you just gain an additional free skill every 5 ranks, just because you're that intelligent. I would put that in your species, features, and traits. Ormy, you are you gain a +10 fatigue, and you gain an additional 2d10 in silver pieces, or 2d10 times 20 silver pieces, because you're an awesome thief for being so big.
Nobody expects the fast movement.
That's right. So you're going to gain 200 additional silver pieces starting off. There's a place for that on the back side of your sheet. And don't forget to put in your plus 10 fatigue points that you gain for your fatigue.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out where the base is, because
The base for what?
for fatigue. Oh, never mind.
We're going to get to that.
It says, yeah.
We're going to get to that. Okay, we're essentially done there. You guys should have your 2 chosen new abilities, additional bonuses. You both gain a plus 10 to your fatigue points. AMDM, you gain an additional free skill every 5 ranks. And Tormy, you started off with an additional 200 silver pieces, and you gain a plus 10 to your fatigue points.
Yep.
Right, now we're going to get into the crunchy crunch. We are essentially done with your attribute determination. So if you want to close that down, Tormy, you absolutely can.
Yep.
And now we're going to get into the crunchy crunch. We're going to determine all this. We're going to determine your health, your defenses, your heroic luck, and some other things. Other numbers are going to generate automatically on the character sheet because that's the way I've set it up, so it automatically does that for you. So what we have here is we're going to start out with the AMDM. Now, again, we based everything off of size, right? So your health is based off your size. If you're a small creature, ask Serby, don't get hit. If you're a medium-sized creature, you start off with a base of 40, plus your stamina modifier and your willpower modifier. So for you, AMDM, it's 45, 49, 59 health to start off with. It'll automatically generate.
It didn't.
It should have.
It didn't, but I'm following behind with what you.
So you actually
said
have
45?
No, 49. You actually have to put
49.
the max health in there, and then it should automatically generate everything else.
Yep.
Oh, it goes to the max health. It goes
Right,
to the max health.
Yeah, it goes to max health.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
put it in current health.
So, okay.
And then it'll generate
My
your
max
health,
health,
your half, and your half and your quarter, and your instant death.
So 49 plus the 10 I already have.
Yeah, so 59 altogether. Tormy, you're going to start off with 60 plus 8 plus 7, so you're
75.
75. Good. All right, stamina, your fatigue points, sorry. Your fatigue points are your stamina score, your whole stamina score, plus your willpower modifier. For you, Tormy, that's going to be 110 fatigue. AMDM, you're going to be 77, 78, 79, 81, 111. 111 fatigue. One more point better than...
Wow.
It's amazing.
And my character is sitting over here with 22 max health and like I think he's 65 fatigue.
You're small, man. What happens when you're small?
I'm gonna be running around basically as the tank caster.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, you can regenerate. You've got natural armor, and when you actually put real armor on, you can actually stand there with Serby
hiding behind
you while you're casting, and he's doing his own other stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when you get you guys inside a game.
Just jump into my shadow and out another one, kill somebody, jump back.
That's
pretty much
essentially what you can do. That's what he can do, right? All right, so physical defenses. Physical defenses, all the defenses have a base of 30 plus a couple of attributes. Both physical defenses are going to be 30 plus your agility modifier and your perception modifier. So for AMDM, that's going to be 39. For Tormy, that's going to be 37.
Is that the mod or the total?
That's the total, sir.
Okay.
magical defense is 30 plus your intelligence and stamina modifier. So for Kova, it's going to be 38, 43 for you, AMDM, and for Tormy, it's going to be 38, 42.
See, it's in.
Your divine defense is going to be 30 plus your wits and your charisma modifier. So AMDM, that's going to be 38. For me, that's going to be 37.
36.
You
said wits plus charisma.
Right.
36.
What's your willpower?
Oh, I thought you said wits, not willpower.
Wait,
Willpower is.
Wait, hold on. Did I say wits? I did say wits. Sorry. Yeah, so you're right. 36. I was looking at the wrong number. My I was like, wait a minute. That's my brain wasn't
okay.
working. My brain wasn't working. I didn't have coffee.
Deep breath. No, deep breath, not fast breath.
Oh, deep breath. All right, there we go. So Gen Hero Defense is going to be 30 plus your willpower and your intelligence modifier. That's why I was like, it wasn't making sense in my brain.
30,
So 38,
41,
42 for you, and 20,
41 for me.
and 41 for you. God, you guys
And
are
what
so
was
close to each other.
what was the magical defense again? What was it? It's 30 plus intelligence and stamina.
Yes. So you should have
All right,
a
38,
score
39, 40, 41, 42, 43.
43. Correct.
All right.
Right. All right. Movement is again based off of size. AMDM, yours is going to be a base of 15, and Tormy, yours is going to be a base of 20. Your heroic luck is equal to your charisma modifier plus any bonuses. So Tormy 3 and AMDM 4. That's your starting heroic luck. Okay. Now, age, height, and weight. I don't care how you determine it, honestly. If you want to randomly roll for it, go for it. If you want to take the average, go for that. So we'll go with AMDM. What do you want to do? And this
Let's go with the average.
Okay, and this information will go on the second sheet under personal information. You're going to go with the average for everything?
Yeah.
All right, so Kova is 2d10, so 20. So you're 45 for your age. Formy, what do you want to do?
I'm going to take base plus a d10. I'm 19.
You're 19. For a race that lives 500 years, you're a baby.
Yep.
All right, your height and weight. Do you want to still do the average there, AMDM?
Yeah.
You're 4'6".
Actually, no. I want to roll for the height.
All right, Tormy, do you want to roll for it as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess what? I'm average height.
4 foot
Jesus.
4'6".
How is this freaking possible?
Yeah.
I'm max height.
Wait, you're max height?
I just rolled 2 10s.
Oh, geez. So you are 7 foot. So you're 8'10". Oh my gosh, you're huge, dude. Wow. Plus your horns take you to about 9 feet, 9'3". And what about your weight?
I think for weight, I will take average.
165 pounds. And what about you, Tormy?
Well, I just rolled a 7, so that's 520.
520 pounds. You're a big, chunky boy. All right, so next thing we're going to worry about is vision. Now, the only species in Kralis currently that you can play that has the best vision you can get besides perfect is heightened, and that's the Manix. Trolls gain night vision.
Yep.
And then AMDM, your character has normal vision. Okay. Encumbrance.
Right, is
Encumbrance.
there's
Yeah, it was already there for you, right? Encumbrance.
Oh,
So
okay.
your max lift is 462 pounds plus 150. So that's 612 pounds is your max lift that you can carry. And Tormy, yours is
1,039.
pounds, just under a half ton. Just over
Just
a half
over a
ton.
half
Oh.
ton.
Just over a half ton. Jeez.
The max lift is strength times 6 plus the 150.
Yes, sir. So basically, there's already strength. Yeah, so it's severe strength times 6 plus the 150.
It's the reason why I have the 200 silver pieces is I picked someone's car up and stole it,
You shook it out of them
and then sold.
and then sold the car, right? All right. So your guys' initiative should already be rolled there. AMDM, you should have a 13, and Tormy, you should be a 10.
Correct.
That's what you get for being
My
big.
move speed should be increased because of the thing. How much does it increase by?
We'll get to that in just a second. We'll definitely increase that. And
Okay.
We'll put that in the modifier as well. All right. Now we get into the some of the actual personalities of who your characters are, right? Legends of Kralis focuses on more of neutrality and good more than anything else. So you have a choice. You can either be good, neutral, or evil. 95% of the population in the world is neutral. They do some good, they do some bad, and everybody's in between. If you choose to be good, you have to work at being good because we track your philosophy. If you fall out of being good, your deity, if you're following a good deity, will no longer you'll have to do something to gain favor with them again. If you're evil, same concept. You have to work at evil. Now, if you choose to be devoted good or devoted evil, you have to earn 5 philosophy points per your rank. So at 4th rank, you have to have 20 philosophy points, and that takes a lot of work. You have to work at it. Otherwise, you don't get the bonuses. And the bonuses are these. You gain bonuses to work against the opposing philosophy. You gain bonuses of good against evil and evil against good. So where do you see your guys' philosophies and moral compasses being?
I'm thinking neutral, but like being dangerously close to being good.
And that's up to your
Does
choice, right? And you, like I
does
said,
a little more does a little more good
than
than
evil, right? Gotcha.
yeah.
And,
So neutral.
right?
Otherwise,
Ah. Deep down, I feel like I'm a good guy. So probably good, with leaning closer to the neutral side of good, but good.
So are you going to be good or are you going to be neutral?
I will be good.
All right. All right. So I'm going to start you off right off the bat on the right. You've got 3 philosophy points right now.
I'm on in 4 places.
So
okay.
all right. So for you to maintain your good status, AMDM, you're going to need to earn 3 additional philosophy points before you hit 2nd rank. Generally, it's one of those things. If you do a good deed, the GM should be saying, "Okay, you gain, 2 philosophy points for that," or that was kind of not a good thing. Reduce your philosophy points by X number, and there are deeds that you can do that are actually described in the Game Master's Guide that allows them to do that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now we're going to get into really a deep dive into who your personalities are. On page 62 we start the aspects, motivations, reputation, and backgrounds. Aspects and motivations can change, but they can't change like on daily or rank based kind of thing. They have to be it's a shift in your personality for this to actually happen. So you get to choose one aspect and one motivation.
All right.
Any questions?
Oh no, I'm
Just reading.
yeah, it's one of those. That's when you start getting into the who is this person?
Who is this person, right? Especially with what you guys have done. I can see you, AMDM, maybe going for a motivation of obscure knowledge. And sometimes everybody I've rolled up characters, this is a chunk of who they are, right? That you decide that you want to, what your motivation is. And sometimes people choose motivations before they choose their aspects.
I think I'm actually going to go redemption though,
Okay.
because he's been, being just feels like he's smarter than everyone else, but he's he's upset something, and he's trying to fix that.
Okay. So
Trying to
redemption.
redeem himself from, yeah, where he's not such a where he's trying not to be an ass.
Okay. And what about aspects?
I think. Let's see. Yes.
And what's your at? And what's your aspect?
I'm seeing how they synergize, so to speak.
Okay. All right. So Tormy, what about you?
I actually figured out my aspect first.
All right. What's your aspect?
I'm going with loyalty.
Okay, brilliant. So, do you know who Mootly is on TikTok?
I'm not sure yet. No.
Okay, she's like
I don't think so.
she's like the gay aunt of TikTok for D&D. She spent 35 minutes in this section reading each one of these and going, "Oh, I like that one. Oh, but I want to do this." And
Yeah.
it killed her for like 35 minutes. She's like,
I know, and I'm like, okay, I've got to pick something. But yeah, I want to spend a lot of time on this
because there are so when you're playing Legends of Kralis, you get merit points for actually sticking to your motivations and aspects. If you don't get those bonus merit. Also, you can do what's called call upon my aspect and motivation, which you can say, you know what, you're talking to the GM, you're like, you know what, I want to call upon my aspect and motivation for this particular situation. You then get to roll, the GM gets to roll, or you get to roll, depending on how the GM wants to handle it. And you can either get some awesome bonuses or you can get really messed up.
Okay. So I'm guessing aspects are basically how you are, then motivations are how you want to be.
Say again.
Aspects are how your personality is, and then the
Well,
motivations are
right, they kind of blend together, right? You can have an aspect, but you need a motivation to go with it. So they're kind of synergetic, and also your motivations, depending on your motivation, gives you bonus to your reputation as well.
yeah, I'm just trying to think, what part of the psyche they are.
Aspects are
Is
you
aspects
bold? Do you have a bold? Are you ambitious? Are you
how we
lighthearted and
act.
funny? How you act, right? Are you kind? Do you when you're in the middle of a situation, do you flinch? Are you a flincher?
All right, then I'm going with the aspect. I'm going with hardline.
Okay.
I am balanced somewhere between mission and masochistic for motivation.
Whatever you choose, it couldn't be worse than mine.
Let's go with a die roll. Masochistic it is.
Masochistic. All right. He's a cutter.
I'm literally evidently literally willing to
Sacrifice yourself for whatever needs to
yeah.
happen. Yeah. All right. Very cool. All right. So, at masochistic, you do not gain a bonus to your repetition. But AMDM with your redemption, I think you get a plus 10 for that. Yes. So you start off with reputation of a score of 20. Tormy, you start off with a base reputation of 10.
Looking for.
It's on the second sheet. Yeah, it's right down the thing there.
Yep. It's just finding which thing I haven't filled out yet.
Essentially. All right, so we are essentially done with that. Now comes the next big decision for you guys. Your backgrounds. There are 20 backgrounds from which you can choose. Good luck. Each background comes with 3 hooks. If you want to use those, each one comes with associated skill bonuses and associated bonuses. So you need to take that all into consideration about what was your character's background before they decided to become an adventurer. Before they said, you know what, screw this life, I'm gonna go fight dragons or search the void or hunt down undead. What did they do?
That's so. I love local hero.
And go through all of them because they all have very specific backgrounds and elements to your character, right? One of our in-person gamers actually died, and now he decided he wanted to be like a samurai and took knight errant.
Hmm.
So what are you guys thinking?
Oh.
They're deep in it right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're deep
we're
in it
Reading.
now. Yeah, and that's the thing is these backgrounds they make you think. You know, where'd you come from? You know.
I'm obviously a criminal background.
Yeah, you are 100%.
surprised.
Let's go. Like, I'm starting to put some real, real silly thought into either local hero or monk.
I took
Alright,
the
let me back to my character real
selfish
quick.
aspect on my character,
Let me calm
and his
down.
motivation is possessions.
I mean, at least we know how to get you hooked.
He's
gonna go with
technically
organi-
more.
I'm going with organization agent.
You're gonna go with organization agent. All right.
Yes. And the hook on that I liked was the organization no longer found me a needed asset. So he's basically trying to redeem from the shit he did in the organization. Part of his redemption thing. He's off trying to do good in the world because of all the crap he did when he was part of that.
All right, that makes sense. I see where you're going with that. All right, Tormy, what about you? And silence.
Yep.
He's like, I have no idea. All right, so you continue to figure that out. AMDM, since you went with organization agent, this is what we're going to do. So on organization agent, you'll notice that there are, like I said, associated skill bonuses and associated bonuses, right? Choose 3 of those associated skill bonuses. They all gain a plus 10 right off the bat.
All right. I get 3 of them. How many of them are there? 1, 2. So we're going to take information gathering.
Okay, so that gets a plus 10.
That's good for just general their knowledge-based stuff. Ring. We'll take stealth and convince.
And what else?
Convince.
Convince. Okay, very good. All right, so on those skills, you get to also determine of those 3 skills. Now you get to choose one of those to become a super focus. It's considered a focus skill for you, so it gains an additional plus 10.
Okay, let me get these in here real quick.
What's he gonna do?
And I'll get to choose one of them to be a super
focus. It gains a plus 10.
Ooh, let's go with info gathering.
All right, so it's a base of plus 20. All right, Tormy. So AMDM, well, we figured that with Tormy down in the small gray box. If you not, you know what? We'll all do that together. Forget that. We'll do that all together. So, what are you going, Tormy?
I'm going local hero.
Local hero. Okay, right on. Why that
And-
instead of the monk? Just out of curiosity.
I liked the associated skills and bonuses for the monk better, but I liked the hook for local heroes.
Which one did you go with?
Middle one, tragic.
The tragic one.
Uh, but I mean, with a little bit of actually, you know what? I will go with monk. A little bit, like a little.
Decisions.
Yeah,
Okay.
Everybody goes through that during their character creation.
Yep.
This also killed Mootly. Because I'd say, oh, by the way, what about this one? She's like, oh, stop that. I'm like, well, you guys know all about these things. All right. So you're going to go with Monk?
Yep.
Are you sure?
yep.
Don't ask those questions.
Because once it's chosen, it cannot be changed.
Sure
Yep.
can with a new character.
With a new character, right? All right. So
No, simply being able to set out and like share the things that I've learned with others, whether that's teaching or fucking just making people safe, is fine. Is a fine hook.
all right. So choose 3 of those skills that gain a +10 for your Bocus Grasp.
Yep, I'm going with acrobatics, alertness, and lore history.
Acrobatics, alertness, and lore history. Okay, so acrobatics, alertness, and lore history.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now choose one of those 3 to be a super skill for you.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Nobody expects the
You're too
jump.
big to move like that. Here's this 500-pound troll doing acrobatic flips. I don't know how many feet up off the ground, and he's like, you're not supposed to move like that, man. You're too big.
Oh my God! You know what he is? He's a professional wrestler.
Yes, he is. And if he'd actually taken deft walk, he could run up the side of a wall, do a backflip off, and kaboom! All right, so and now you get to choose the associated bonuses. You gain either +10 fatigue points, +10 health points, or +10 physical defense. And same with you on the organization. For you, AMDM, it's a +10 resistance, +3 heroic luck, or gain a +5 bonus to either your magical, divine, or genuine defense.
Let's go to the +5 bonus to magical.
You're gonna go +5 to magical. Okay.
Yeah.
+10 to physical defense.
And then +10 to physical defense for you. Okay.
Brings me up to.
So 47 there. All right.
Whoa! No, not 408.
All right. So we are essentially done now. I want to because you guys haven't really been able to see this because we haven't played yet, but I want you guys to go to page 68. This I did as a breakdown as a request for a gamer who was like, what's the difference between a commoner, a trained, and a player character? So what I did here is I took a small, medium, and large creature, and I basically created these differences, right? This is why they would be different. So this is how much better you are as a player character or an explorer than you are as a trained or as a commoner.
My race isn't even here.
No, it's because I had to pick 3, so I just went with 3.
You're good.
Yeah, but technically, like your strength for a Bahul is typically around 90 in the 90s, right? You're a little weird.
Yeah, yeah.
77, but okay. It's compared to a commoner, I mean, you're closer to a commoner than you are anything else with a strength. In fact, there are some trained Bahuls that are actually better than you. So let's just move on from that page. All right. So one of the
there might be a reason why I became so quick and magical.
You're not as you're faster than you look. You're faster than you look, and you're not as strong as you should be.
Why do I feel like me hiding behind Tormi's character and then doing
All of a
like
sudden he's not
synchronized acrobatics?
That's brilliant. I totally let that happen. Absolutely. All right. So in Dungeons and Dragons, I know that you guys have I'm sorry, you were going to say AMDM?
Oh no, I was just gonna make a comment like that. Oh, they're dancing again.
Oh, there they are, they're dancing again. So in Dungeons and Dragons and a lot of game systems, you have in some, not all, but in merits, you have experience tables, right? I think in Dungeons and Dragons, from you to go from first level to second level is what, 300?
Yeah.
Right. So in Legends of Kralis, you create your own personal experience table, or what we call merit. And it's different than experience in the fact of the way we explain it is how you do get merit for killing things, but you get more merit for solving problems non-violently or using your aspects and motivations and all kinds of different things. So there's all kinds of ad hoc merit that allows you to do that. So now what we're going to do is you're going to set how much merit you need to go from first rank to second rank, okay? So we will do AMDM first. And Tormi, if you want to follow along, you can absolutely do that. So on the back, on the second sheet, it's the last line under personal information. AMDM, you are actually going to, you're going to have a base of 1,000 merit for your species.
Okay, okay, there it is.
Yeah, we're on page 69 if you're looking in the character in the
1,000. All right.
And then because you went with knowledge as your focus, it's going to cost you an additional 400. Now those two numbers will never change. What's going to change is the campaign merit cost and the ability merit cost, depending on which abilities you take on various ranks, right? It's 400 merit for the campaign cost as first rank characters. Tormi, I believe yours is going to be 1,000 as well.
1,200.
No, 1,200. Yeah, it's that regeneration that you have. So 1,200.
Mm-hmm.
And then you went
and 350.
350 for the stealth and 400. So you are at 1,950 for you to go to second rank, and AMDM is currently at 1,800. But I have a feeling the ability he's going to choose is going to really make that go up high for him. We'll see here. Probably not. So that's essentially that. So that's what you need. You set your own merit tables or experience tables based off of the rank, based off of your experience and what rank you're going from and to, based off of the ability and the merit point cost that you actually choose. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
AMDM?
Yes.
All right, cool. Because a lot of people are like, I don't get that. What is that? And the best way I've started to explain it is that you set your own experience tables, and they change every rank. It's not a set score. So that's that essentially. And for everybody who's like joining us or watching us at some later time, we actually going from a class-based system to a classless system can be difficult. So what we've done is we've written descriptions and requirements and what you may want to take for different types of classes. starting on page 70. Okay, so page 73, skills and abilities. Okay, so everybody starts off with a base skills of their intelligence modifier plus 6. For me, that's going to be total of 10 for you. AMDM, that's going to
9,
be
10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Going to be 14 plus the 3 that you have, so that's 17 skills altogether. Okay, and all skills that you take right now, all skills that you train in, have a base score of 40 plus the controlling attribute modifier. Okay.
Plus mod. All right.
There's that one and DM.
I'm definitely taking Jinhu.
Right. So before we actually start picking skills, let's go ahead and finish out the basic skills, which is that bottom right hand corner, that gray box. And let's fill this out. So AMDM, your ability to jump up is equal to half your height plus 1 foot per strength modifier. So half your height, you're 4'3", or 2 foot, so it's 2'3". So we'll just say 2 foot, and then 1 foot per 25 strength, so 3. So you can basically jump 5 feet straight up. If you're standing still, you can jump straight up 5 feet. Tormy, your height. So you're 4'5", so we'll say 4 feet plus 1 foot per 25 strength. So you can jump 11 feet straight up. If my math is correct.
Yep.
You can jump 11 feet straight up.
Good Lord.
Think
Jesus.
about that. Think about that. That's the size of some roofs on some houses, right? Your base move, your leap is half your base move, so you can leap forward 10 feet, Tormy. AMDM, you can
Until we modify it.
Right, until we modify it, correct. And then your leap right now, AMDM, is 7.5 feet. So we say 8.
That's
there.
impressive for
Now, right, for being
Yeah.
what, 4 foot, right?
Yeah.
Now, this next score right here gets a lot of people misunderstood. It's not. It's going to be your strength score, so that's what you would roll. So, like for you, AMDM, for you to pick up or hold 612 pounds of weight. Let me break out the calculator here. 612 divided by 75. You would need 8 successes to be able to successfully do that.
So lifting would be 8.
Well, no. It's your score. It's your strength score. I'm just saying. Let's say you wanted to do
Oh.
your max lift. You would have to roll underneath that score, and in your case, you'd have to get a critical to actually be able to lift a maximum lift. Otherwise, you just can't.
Oh,
do it.
okay.
You can't. You can't do it. Tormy, on the other hand, 1,039. Wow. And what's your strength score there? It's 70 what?
77.
77. All right. So 1,039 divided by 77. You would need 13 successes to be able to actually hold up that weight. You would have.
I'm sure there's a spell to help.
I'm sure there is, but you would have to critically do that to be able to actually do that. Yeah, you'd have to roll a crit, and then roll high on your exploding D10.
Sounds right.
All right, yeah, and so that's what allows you to actually do all that jumping around. Your swimming is 1 foot per 10 stamina fire. 10 per 10 stamina. So in Tormy's case, that's dog paddling 9 feet.
It's so dumb.
For AMDM, your is 7 feet dog paddling. Now everybody can dog paddle, right? It's just you being able to swim. Now there are skills. There's a swimming skill that allows you to swim very well if you actually need it. Your fear checks are going to be your willpower plus 10 for both of you. So that's going to be 81 for AMDM. And your horror is going to be 70, 81 as well. Look at that. You're just average. Your stamina is 77 for your poison checks.
You are wits. So
And then your stamina for me is going to be 93. Wits and will 69 and 85. So 95 and 79.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's only one species in Legends of Kralis that's actually immune to fear, and that's the Aelwyn. They are immune to fear. However, their horror, they've got gentle souls. They can be horrified. All right. Now we're going to get into skills. Skills start on page 77, and the description of the skills start from there on to page like 80 or 93 or something like that. Like I was saying, when you choose your focus, you also gain bonuses to your skills, right?
Yep.
So
Mhm.
AMDM, since you chose knowledge skills, you gain 4 of those skills. 4 knowledge skills gain a plus 10. Those are considered focus skills. Tormy, for you, 4 of the stealth skills are considered focus skills for you. And you can take whatever skills you want, but those 4 are within your actual your focus that gains that. It's just you're more focused than that, right?
All right.
So Tormy, for you, right off the bat, Jinhu discipline. That's going to be a focus skill for you. It's based off your willpower, so it's going to be 40 plus 10 plus your willpower, so 57 as a start. All right. For you, AMDM, you have a choice. Well, actually, you don't. Are you going to go casting right off the bat?
Yeah,
All right. So you're going to need.
that's going to be definitely a focus.
All right. So that's going to be spellcraft. So it's going to be your intelligence modifier. So 48, 58 as well. All right. And then what you'll notice is on your skill sheets, there's those little check boxes so you know which ones are your skill or your focuses. So, and that's important to track because on your every fifth rank, it gains a +5 bonus to that skill.
Okay.
And things like that. So you need to decide what skills you want and then let me know. And don't forget the bonuses that you have. And again, skills start out at a base of 40 plus the controlling attribute modifier, plus if they are a focus skill for you.
And what's the plus on the focus? It's 10? Or it's just checked?
Say again?
On the focus, that's just because it's 40 plus mod
Plus 10 if it's a focus skill for you.
plus 10. Okay.
Yes.
Plus 10 for focus. And we get 4 of those. Okay. And I have a total of 14 of these to choose. Okay. Oh, this is going to take a while. All right. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to call and hop off. I've got to get up at
No worries, I completely understand. We can finish your
and
character a
then
little bit later. I've got your character saved on mine, so we can,
what's left to finish here?
so your character, your skills, choosing your ability, and then purchasing equipment.
Okay.
So
All
I
right.
can jump on, and I can jump on with you anytime that you want. Just let me know.
All right.
All right. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much, AMDM. I appreciate
No
it.
problem.
And I can't wait to get us an organized time so I can torture you guys for 4 hours.
Oh yes. I'm gonna.
4 hours.
When I get a chance here, I will sit down. I might pull this up on my phone tomorrow at work if it's slow and just read.
Right. So, and again, like I said, if you have any questions, especially tomorrow, just hit me up. I'm on Discord at any moment.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
All
I've
right.
got to.
No
I gotta
worries,
call it.
All right, AMDM. Stay healthy. Stay
Sleep well,
safe.
man.
Y'all have a good night. And go forth and roll some dice.
Definitely.
Right. I should be.
I didn't think he was going to stay that long. I know that he's got to get up and go to work, so. Are you leaving us too, Bud?
No, I'm sticking around.
All right, so you just took your camera off?
I did, yeah.
All right, no worries. All right, Tormy, it's just you and me. Let's finish this up.
I am trying to figure the difference between brawling and martial arts.
Brawling is the basic of throwing things using made up weapons. Martial arts is a lot more specific. Martial arts allows you to use multiple attacks. You can throw with it. You can use martial arts as your physical defense as well. So there's a complete difference. Brawling is that street brawling, that old fashioned, two-fisted kind of thing happening. Martial arts is a lot more finesse.
I have a different question. I noticed where T says it's trained, untrained skills are 30 instead of 40, and G is general skills.
So it's general skills. You can't focus in them.
Okay. Is spellcraft important for the discipline, the casting?
Say again?
Is spellcraft the skill important for
casting spells? But for you, it'd be Jinhur. You're going to need Jinhu discipline. That doesn't mean you can't take spellcraft. That's not what I'm saying at all. You could totally take spellcraft. Absolutely. You can take any skill that you want. And be trained in it. It's just that the only time you can train it as a skill is when you take a new skill at rank, when you rank up for new skills, or and find a trainer for you. So do you understand what I'm saying? At first rank, we're kind of developing your character. So if you go to second rank, you know what? I think I want to learn to speak that language. You're gonna have to find somebody who knows that language and train with them to learn that language.
Fair. Meditate. What do you do?
Meditate allows you to actually regain fatigue points back quicker than normal. Normally you would have to as long as you're not doing anything, you gain your stamina modifier plus 10 or 5 plus 5 per hour that you're resting. Meditate actually triples that.
Yeah, let's go with that.
That would definitely be good for your character.
Oh, let's see. I automatically get acrobatics alertness from and lore history from the other thing.
Right, from your background.
And I went with no, I didn't go with that. That's wrong. Okay. I went with stealth and trapcraft off of being a stealth person.
And that's those are your focus, stealth and trapcraft.
Yeah.
So 40, and your agility modifier is 4, so 54 for that one. And trapcraft is 40 plus your intelligence, which is 4, so 54 for that one as well. Right. So
Martial arts
you're
meditation.
gonna take martial arts, and are you gonna go strength based or agility based?
Agility.
Okay.
I do not foresee actually putting anything into strength from here on. It's literally going to be.
You might be surprised. You might be surprised. So it's going to be 40 plus your agility modifier, so that's 44.
And meditate will be 47.
47.
And the discipline will be 57.
57, correct, right?
I'm picking up evade, which puts that at 44.
Say again.
I'm training in evade.
So evade is not like dodge. Evade is like you're running through the city or forest and trying to evade people who are chasing you.
Okay, fair. And the difference between engineering and smithing for the purposes of this setting
so in Legends of Kralis is, like I said, a science fantasy based game. So engineering allows you to do specific things, like you can build things that require technology involved with them using Docal crystals or thermic batteries. Allows you to repair vehicles, allows you to do all kinds of things. Smithing is also a part of that, allows you to actually build your whatever items you need. And there's 3 types of smithing. There's white smithing, armor smithing, and blacksmithing. But we just put it into smithing altogether.
fair. Well, I think I'm picking up both of them. So that's 44, and that's 54 or 45.
Say which one?
44 in engineering and 45 in smithing.
Okay. Okay, don't forget. Did you take acrobatics yet?
Yeah.
And what's that score?
64.
64. Okay.
And alertness is at 53.
53. And history?
54.
54. Okay. So you've got 10 skills altogether. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry. 1, 2,
That's
3,
done.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. All right. That doesn't mean that you can't earn new skills. So every rank, there's these things called rank bonuses that allow you to improve your character in various ways. One of them is taking new skills. And you can take those. The ones that are trained, that have the T next to them, you have to go get trained. Otherwise, you can try any skill. Like you can try healing, but it's going to be at a 30 plus your intelligence modifier, so 34. It'll never get better than that unless you actually go and you actually take it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So we are essentially done with skills. Now we're going to do the bigger choice for you, is your choosing your ability. Now there are 300 and I think there's 302 abilities, but I think I'm going to be building another ability, so there's going to be 303 abilities. But we've divided them up into your focuses, right? So there's combat, knowledge, social, and stealth. If you're going to use Jinhur, you're going to need enlightened, and the Stealth abilities begin on 138. And I have the ability increase speed, so I want to get that information for you real quick.
Acrobat Fighter.
So your increased speed gives you a +5 to your base movement, and it can be purchased 3 times. So you're moving a total move of 25, and your total leap
My
is-
leap just
is
became a
12.5 feet.
12.5 feet.
Yeah. That's a standing leap. It's
That's disturbing.
running, it's I think double that. So it's 24 feet if you run. And leap.
That's terrifying.
It's terrifying, but Legends of Kralis is about being a legend, right? That's what I developed the game for. Is not for this like, wow, that's weird. No, it's meant for that, right? Because you're going to come across creatures that can hit you and knock you back 150 feet with one blow. So, yeah, be prepared for it. Right? So I want you to be heroic. And Legends of Kralis does not care about min-maxing. It doesn't care.
I'm certainly going to enjoy being a very large, beefy, not tank.
Right? So you need to pick your focus ability. I mean, you don't have to go with Enlightened right off the bat. You can go Acrobatic Fighter if you want. Right? That you can choose that. And you're not stuck with choosing your first ability out of your focus. It's the general rule, but it's not the core rule. You can pick any ability from any source that you like, including general, if you want to start doing something different.
These are combat abilities. I'm in the wrong spot.
Page 138 for stealth abilities if you want to look at those.
Getting closer. There we are. I was also in the wrong area completely.
So this is definitely another focus, another choice that focuses your character and finally establishes who you are as a legend. Derby, you still with us?
Yep, I'm still here.
It'd be hilarious, but I can't do it because it starts at rank 5. Elemental attack.
So what are you thinking?
Thinking I'm rushing the stuff. I'm going for Enlightened.
Enlightened? All right. So that is your 5th ability, and that goes Enlightened. All right, so increase. There's a couple things that we need to work on. So increase speed gives you a +5 bonus. It also gives you to movement, and then it also lowers the amount of fatigue that you need to run and sprint and all of that stuff. Now, Kujara key, there's one thing that we definitely need to focus on for you real quick. Kujara G is on page, focuses are on page 142. You get to choose one of these as a starting one.
That's just freaking silly.
What?
Increase your strike reach by 5 feet per 40 willpower.
Which is important, right? Because right now you have your reach is 5 feet in front of you, basically everything around you, right? With that, you can increase your strike range. You're at what's your willpower? It's like 90, 85, so an
85.
additional 10 feet.
Yeah.
It's like doing that sliding punch and
Do it.
sliding sponge.
I think I am doing that one.
That one?
Because I think I'm also going to, like, I think I might end up being an armored monk.
You can't wear armor as a monk, as a martial artist.
No.
Right.
Oh well.
So that's
I mean, natural armor still stacks, but
well, right, but that's why I'm saying if you actually take Kujaraji armor, it actually stacks. So per 25, so 50, 75. So that would be 10 points of additional armor. But so it doesn't stack with normal armor absorption. So you couldn't wear like chainmail and be able to do that.
do I want the armor or do I want the reach?
Reach.
Now right, and there are Jinhur that'll actually allow you to actually create armor around you.
Then yeah, reach attack.
All right, reach attack. All right, and enlightened. Let's go ahead and get that and put it in here. Now, this is something you're gonna have to like take notes, cliff notes on. So basically, it starts off when you take the skill, you gain a +5 to your Genhu defense. So now your Genhu is 46. You also gain a +10 fatigue points. So you're at 120 fatigue. Wow, that's a lot of fatigue. But you're a big guy, so you've got a lot of that. And then you have to you get to choose, you gain access to one of the 4 pathways. And we'll talk about those in a minute. So you can choose those, and then you get to choose 2 hand symbols each time that you take enlightened. And it's very important on which ones you take because you'll be limited to what you can do. So we'll take a look at that in just 2 seconds. And so the next thing we normally do is do equipment, but we can skip that if you want to go take a look at your Jinhur. Figure out what you want to do with those pathways.
Yeah, let's do the equipment later.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead to page 229.
Okay.
All right, so here's the different pathways. This gives you the Jinhu pathways and symbols. If you want to read through that real quick, it allows you to figure out what you're doing with that. And then we'll go to the actual list selections. And Jinhur is actually the most intensive magical forces that we have, because it's not, because there's so many pathways, right? And there's so many hand symbols that you need, and there's so many powers that you want to take, right? So try to figure out which one of those pathways that you want to take, and then we'll go to that pathway, and then we'll determine which of the hand symbols you want to take to be able to gain certain access to certain powers. You have access to power rank 1 and power rank 2 Jinhur as a starting Jinhuist. Jinhur.
So I can see generally what they go to, but I don't necessarily know what they actually do. Like, I can assume what the 4 elements do.
Right.
They
So
probably summon up something like that element, but mind and soul are, or heaven or hell, are very
right. So page 238 and 239 are a written story describing the 4 pathways and the 12 hand symbols. So what are we thinking there, Tormy? We're getting kind of restless here.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries, you're reading
I'm
all those. I totally get it.
yeah. Doesn't make for good TV though.
No,
Uh,
but it's all good. I just want you to be able to figure out what you want to do and have the character you want. Obviously, everybody does.
All those gang signs.
yeah.
That's what we like to call it when we're using Thieves' Cant and D&D in our Black Door campaign. I throw gang signs at Tormy.
So, my artist, Joseph Garcia, just sent me one of my most. This I want to somehow make this a classic creature that when you think of Legends of Kralis, you think about these creatures. Like like you think of Drow, you think Dungeons and Dragons, you think Beholders, you think Dungeons and Dragons, or Dungeons and Dragons, you think Beholders or Red Dragons, right? Let me show you what he just sent me. This is a monster that you will actually come across if you're in the depths of the Tabadoon, in the depths in the underworld.
That is scary as hell.
He's an amazing artist, and he's done 90% of all the art in the Talarius Beastry. And I'm gonna eventually, if we're able to and go color, we're gonna end up colorizing all the art. But can you imagine this thing floating? It floats. Can you imagine this thing getting a hold of you?
No,
It's horrific.
that's why I hide behind Tormy.
Did you see this, Tormy?
Dear God. Sad thing is, I'm running right into its maw.
Right. So yeah. So well done, Joseph. Thank you so much.
So I'm thinking. I'm thinking either Tyus or Mizu, and Zu and Sar. So body and strength with either uh the changing or the potential.
Okay, so before you decide on which exact symbols you want to choose on, let's go take a look. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual pathways and the hand symbols of the particular powers you'd be able to summon. Okay.
Okay.
So starts on page 254.
I just passed it. Okay. That's terrifying.
What's terrifying?
Acidic touch
And
Do it.
with
acidic
with
touch,
15-foot reach.
right?
Uh, being able to increase someone's armor is huge.
Yeah, that would be huge.
That's terrifying. A level 1 ability can slow down time.
Which one are you looking at?
Delaying boost. Shaihuri.
Yeah, you can slow down some time. It's not. It only affects a little bit around you.
But if I'm hiding behind him, would that affect me as well?
Possibly. The Art of Joseph Garcia. Thank you, sir. I blast you all the time when we're out here talking about you and what you've done for Legends of Kralis and all your art.
Yeah, he was showing us that new monster. That's absolutely sick, man.
Ooh, that's tempting.
Which one?
I'm at Tyus. The first rank power is just animate object. Actually, everything in the first rank is amazing.
For TS?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And the second tier isn't exactly lightweight either.
Right, but understand you only get to choose 2 hand symbols, so be careful which ones you choose. Right?
Yeah.
So at a later time, there's no like gaining more at a later time.
No, you can every time you take enlightened, which is you can do it every rank. You can take enlightened. You can gain new abilities or new hand symbols. Yeah, Jinhur is a very specific form of magic, and it takes some time, right?
Yeah. So I take it when it has, well, in this case, Tyus, and then 3 different ones, I suppose you have to have all 3 hand symbols.
Say again. So like which one?
Um,
Like
for instance, power rank 2,
Diorafuron?
Dahir Furen.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
need all 3 hand symbols to be able to actually get that one.
Hmm. It seems that Tyus is mostly defensive.
Which, if you're going for that kind of defensive monk kind of thing,
Sihu is mostly buffs, it seems.
Right, see
Little
who's
bit
mostly
of
buffs, right? It's buffs and summonings in a lot of ways. Because you could
yes.
like at power rank, you can summon a force ball, force blast, you can do fire breathing, you can do levitation and those kind of things as well.
It's like it's buffs and like conjuration. Mizu seems to be highly summoning. And debuffs. And Jen seems to be mostly your attack stuff, your actual damage dealing. So by choosing one of these 4, you lock yourself out of the other 3?
Only until you take enlightened again at another level.
Okay.
Right. This is like your starting stuff, right? You don't lock yourself
Yeah.
out permanently. It's you gain access to those things.
Okay. You can see why I would ask.
Oh yeah. No, I understand.
Um here. I am having trouble finding any skill that is tied to ranged combat directly.
Or Jinhur.
Just in the skills area of the sheet.
Like for using a weapon?
Yeah.
Weapon craft.
Okay. That makes sense now.
Yeah, it's not you crafting weapons. That's taken care of through armor and blacksmithing. Weapon craft is your actual use a capability of actually using weapons. Weapon craft, spell craft, those kind of things.
Fair enough. I think I might start out with Jen then.
Interesting. Okay.
have some offensive capability, considering I am a mobility tank.
Right?
Maybe not, because it is a lot of ranged attacks, and then I have no reason for taking the reach.
A lot of the Jinhur is actually combines with your physical attacks as well, right? So like acidic touch, it's simple and it affects your hands, right? So when you're attacking somebody, you attack them both with like hits, but they also have to make a Jinhur defense against your acidic damage that you're doing.
I I'm bouncing back to Mizu. I think I'm going with Mizu.
Okay. Why Mizu?
It has a little bit of offense. It has a little bit of defense. Just the sheer ability mold object is huge for somebody who is both a smith and engineer.
And then what hand symbols are you going with?
That's a good question.
It looks like you're gonna have to go, if you want mold object, you're gonna have to go with Ka and Tur.
Which gives me days.
Yeah, it gives you Dirthnak, which allows you to daze somebody, mold object, and basically feather fall for all intents and purposes.
There are a couple of things here that just seem a little online. Boomerang summoning Deathblight and Rasarn don't. I'm wrong on the last three. But Boomerang summoning doesn't seem to have hand signs.
Under Mizu?
Yeah. It is at the top of 255. It has Boomerang summoning.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Good catch. Boomerang. It's Hen. Mizu and Hen.
E. Arca and Tur.
Yeah, and the more I look at this, I'm starting to look at some of these things where I think like first rank should only have 1 or 2 at most, and power rank 2 should have no more than 2. So like SWAT should
Death
actually. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Deathblight has 3.
Yeah.
I'm definitely taking Ka, and it's whether I'm taking Tur or Gi. I... Kangi. Mizu Kangi. I can pick up Tur later. But, you know, having acid hands might come in handy.
All right. Summon an animal. Summon animals is SAR.
Yeah. I've got that figured.
All right. Well, we are technically done outside of the fact that you need to choose equipment. So I'm not. I know it's getting late for you because you're back east, right? You're back east.
It's 2. I
Yeah.
still have a little fuel in the tank if you want to get it
I'm
completely
good
knocked
if you
out.
want to. I'm good if you want to. So I'm not. I'm good if you want to. Because it's only 11
Yeah,
o'clock for me.
let's do it.
Okay.
Let's finish this off. Get it all in one go for you.
Well, it's for you. Because I hope to.
I know.
I hope to get a game with you guys soon. I think that'll be awesome. All right. So equipment. It starts on page 161.
Okay.
All right, so we base all our basic financials, money on your background, right off the bat. So you chose monk, which is the poorest, but you went with stealth focus, so you've got 450 plus your 200, so you've got 650 silver pieces by which you can buy things. Since you're going with martial artists more than anything, you don't need armor. So that saves you a whole bunch of money. You didn't really pick up a weapon, so it's up to you whether you want a weapon or not. Now you can still use the weapon, it just won't be as effective as if you were actually trained in it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. It does. Shields.
So weapons start on page 168.
Do I even want to know how like
How what?
how normal uh like firearms and Jesus grenade launchers are?
Grenade launchers? What? We have grenade launchers? When did that get in there?
Didn't see launchers. I saw grenades and explosive weapons, and my brain went to launchers instead.
They are they're not super common because of the costs of them. But larger cities and larger towns will definitely will have guards that have them. Some individuals will be able to afford them. Some won't. Most large cities, obviously, and large towns also have a restrictions on them, and you must be qualified and given permits to actually use them. And in some cities, you may not even be able to have weapons out without permit.
I half want a pistol just for the stupidity of it, but at the same time, I know there are other venturing
why is
gears.
the stupidity of it? What's the stupidity of it? I think it's awesome.
A monk with a pistol.
A monk wielding pistol wielding monk that can fire and then rush up and then basically beat you to death with his hands. There's nothing odd about that. I mean, come on, you are a troll.
This is true.
But they are expensive. The pistols alone start at 400. It's at 500 silver pieces. That would leave you 150 to buy other equipment.
Like the ammo for it, and a backpack.
Right, some other stuff that I mean.
And then there's also the kits.
Yeah, but I raised the cost on the kits and made them more. Well, yeah, I raised the cost of the kits, and I also made them a little bit. Yeah.
Oh man, I can have a magnet.
Hey, monkey.
That makes so many other things so much easier.
What's up?
A magnet?
It's ridiculous how many games have been in that a simple magnet would have actually solved the problem.
I did not know that was an issue.
Well, there's a lot of things during like 3.5 games for D&D that when it's just high fantasy and no one's allowing even guns, a damn magnet does so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like having a bag of stones, just a tiny pouch of pebbles that
Or
helps a
or
lot.
Yeah, no, I get you. But again, the thing is Legends of Kralis it's a science fantasy. I mean, there are people that actually have levitation bikes, right? Gangs roaming the Serengeti like terrain of the Empire of Rincha Adentra, where there are actually gangs of riding around on levitation bikes. There are airships. There are void ships that come into the atmosphere at times. There are teleportation capabilities on ships. They can do all these kinds of cool things. So it's a matter of just looking at it and going, what kind of game is this? This game it's all about science fantasy, science fiction, and fantasy combined. So I don't limit people.
That's
I
fair.
push them to be more of a character. That's why I'm saying Legends of Kralis doesn't care about
I
min maxing their efficiency.
I have a completely different idea that I don't want the gun, but I
Okay.
do want. I think I'm grabbing. Where is it? I just saw this. The grappling hook and grappling hook gun.
Tormy, you knock him off the void bike, and then I'll steal it.
No, I think what you're going to do with this thing is you're going to shoot it at somebody in an attempt to grapple them and then pull you to it.
Yes.
I give my blessing for that concept.
That is
brilliant.
a great concept.
That's brilliant.
If I can't quite reach you, I'll still reach you. Oh my god. So one grappling hook gun and a grappling hook will eat up 505 of my money, leaving me with 145.
Backpack and basic items.
Yeah. I'm buying that damn magnet. Another 18 gone.
So I'm like I said, I'm
Yeah.
really into lists. I'm old grog nerd. I'm old school. I love lists and I want people to be able to buy whatever equipment they want for a lot, for whatever they want. So I've worked at this list. It's been revised. I don't know how many times, but we're slowly getting it to the point where it's right where we want it.
I'm digging it.
And then there are the kits in case you're the packs in case you're like, no, I don't want to spend all the time doing that. You can just pick a pack and go with it.
That was 50, so I owe 60 off of that total. Could have swore I saw. There it is.
You got it?
I found the thing I was looking for.
And what was that
I'm
thing?
going to have 13 silver pieces to my name.
And what was that thing you were looking for?
The pocket watch.
Really? You were looking for a pocket watch? Why?
Sometimes you need timing to be perfect.
Brilliant. I'm glad there was a pocket watch for you. That's awesome. So, Tormy, that is your character. That is Grunka Wasi Mahato. Are they male, female, or do we not know?
It's like damn backpack here. I could have swore.
Could have swore they had a backpack.
Yeah. Sorry, ask the question again.
So we're done with your character, but the last thing that we haven't really determined, and it's fine if we don't, is your troll male, female, or we don't know.
I'm going with male on this
Okay.
one.
Also, trolls. If you have a chance to actually read it, I don't know if you read into it or not, they actually have tribal tattoos in a sense, right? That basically that they tattoo on themselves. Their horns also get really big and ram like as they get older with age. And some of the older trolls that have lived forever have actually had to cap their horns at a certain place and keep filing them down. Otherwise, they'd keep growing and they'd get out of control. So
Fair.
that's it. So what? Okay, so what did you think about character creation?
It's less difficult than 3.5 was if you're building anything but a fighter.
Right.
It has it definitely has some aspects from other games that I have already played. Like certain aspects of it seem to borrow from like White Wolf without being like a specific like rip from one of them.
Okay, like what? I'm just curious.
Um I'm trying to scroll up and my computer is being funky. Like your background system is similar to similar in a way where older White Wolf games uh, also did a little bit of you get to choose these things that are specifically part of this clan or this type of
Right.
character, and you still get a choice. They've narrowed the scope for you, but adding the hooks and making it so that you had more of a choice in it gives it a better feel.
Awesome.
The fact that so much of the the fact that so much of the character build can be done from any point and readjusted really tells that it's really a classless system that could work.
Well, cool. I like to hear those kind of
I've
things.
personally, I took 5e about 4 years ago now. 3-4 years ago. I took 5e, deconstructed it, and rebuilt it without levels, or classes, I should say. And it is a bit clunky, but the run through of it that my group did, if scheduling hadn't gotten in the way, would have been interesting.
Awesome. Yeah. The hardest thing is trying, the one of the biggest things that I was faced with, and my partner, my co-creators were faced with, was making sure it was balanced without being overly powered, and things like that. So I think we've done a good job. It is definitely not everybody's cup of tea, you know. It's
No
definitely
game is.
no game is, right. Yeah, absolutely, no game is. But it is also one of those ones that it's it's not a super niche, but it's definitely nichey. I've had I think 9 or 10 people create characters with me, and they have a range of abilities for rolling up characters. One has only been playing for like less than 6 months, and she loved it. So I think that's a positive. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that's it. That's Legends of Kralis character creation. And as you get better with it, you'll find that you'll be attracted to certain things. Um, um, I personally like to play the Tajahu or the series more than anything. Occasionally, I'll pick up an Elwyn, and I'll definitely, for me, Elwyn just scream stealth. The Tajahu, I can play either knowledge or social based. But if I go combat, I'm going Furbog. Trolls have their great regeneration, but Furbog have the innate ability to do like a massive attack of 3 people in front of them, because of their size and their capability.
I really like that it does have the ability to, like, you can play a character that is completely, well, that doesn't line up, and that doesn't line up, and that doesn't line up. You can still make a character that has all of that, and it feels like it could work. I haven't gotten to play it yet, obviously, but I'm looking forward to playing this character.
I know that Serby's actually looking forward to playing, and so it'll be fun to get you and Serby and AMDM and one other one individual to play a couple one shots with me. Give everybody an opportunity to play a different system, and for AMDM not to always be the DM.
I feel that.
I like
I
being the GM. I love it. If I play, I play, but if I don't ever play, I get to be everything else. So I love being the GM. You know, I love
I
it.
was in a hot seat mode where, like, we were trying to get more DMs active on the Discord, but I was in a I had hit the wall where my creativity wasn't going to work quick enough to react to players without having some time on the player side of the screen.
Right, and there's those times where you need to do that as a GM just to get back on that side of the screen for a little while.
Yeah.
But my preference is to be a GM. And I've been so focused on developing Legends of Kralis, all I've ever been as a GM. So I just love doing it. Right, I love throwing the creatures that at you. I love seeing how you guys overcome these massive odds, and figuring out my little plots that I've got going that are based around your characters or what have you, and stuff like that. So
You also have the bonus of uh, so many people who have played D&D for so long, they get used to it and they know most of the monsters and blah blah blah. You have interesting, different names. You have very different monsters in this book, and the society is completely different from what most people are already used to with like regular D&D.
Right.
So you have that uh, extra push of curiosity that your players don't know your world well yet.
Right, exactly, and that's the hope. And then, even in the Hilarious Beastry, the Legends of Kralis Beastry, you can take a single type of regular species and you can make it either a mook, a boss, or a super boss. Right? You can. We give you rules on how to do that. We even show you how to create monsters in the Beastry, so you can create an entirely new monster that you like, or you can do these. And the monsters themselves have different abilities. So maybe they run into a Kaznark that has this magical disease called blue phage. Maybe they don't. Maybe they have rabies. They got these different options that you can never guess exactly what they're going to do. And the thing is we also, we don't do like with the CR, the challenge rating, like I think Dungeons and Dragons, we do by ranks, right? So a Kaznark is a good monster to throw against people that are 1st to 5th rank because you can boost them, right? And
Okay.
the thing is with monsters, you can actually, if you create a monster, you can actually tap into the same skills and abilities that a lot of characters have. They can gain improve multiple attack. They can gain spell casting, right? They can gain all these different things. So you may think that's a regular Kaznark, and then suddenly he's casting spells at you, and you're like, no, no, that's not good. You can't do that. And we've done these different things to help GMs learn how to do that. There's a lot of work to be done, but again,
Fair.
in one sense, I mean, it's like me starting in 1974 with Dungeons and Dragons. Nobody knows about it.
Mhm.
Maybe in 50 years when I'm long gone and dead, it's awesome. Who knows? But we shall see. Any other comments, questions, concerns, anything that you want to talk about before we close down for the night?
All honesty, at this point, literally the only enemy is scheduling.
Understood. And that's something we're gonna have that Serb's helping me work with AMDM, and maybe we can all figure out a time to run. I'm available Sundays predominantly, all day Sunday.
We will have to see.
Yeah.
Sundays are going to start being a home game day for me, but who knows? We could probably make it work so that uh, one of our games runs much earlier than the other. So
Whatever. I just look forward to playing with you guys and torturing you for 4.5 hours.
I look forward to it.
I think it'll be fun.
Absolutely.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for hanging out in the background. I hope you get some good sleep. Tormy, thank you so much for hanging out. We just created characters with AMDM Tormy from the AMDM on Twitch and on TikTok. Tormy works with him as part of the crew, and so does Serb, who's now online. He's kind of like just hanging out in the background, giving his opinions, which is cool.
What I normally do.
Tormy, again, thank you so much for hanging out and finishing it up. If you have any questions, hit me up on Discord, and I will answer them as soon as I possibly can.
Sounds good.
All right.
You have a good night.
You too. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and stay legendary. Bye.